We're living in a very fast-paced world. So fast that many people don't even realize they're overwhelmed until the exhaustion sets in, the house feels constantly messy, and their mind never really shuts off. Wanting a calmer, more peaceful life is no longer an ideal, it's a real need. For me, throughout 2025, minimalism didn't start with cleaning or decluttering my home. It started with a simple question: am I holding on to too much out of habit or out of fear of letting go? As I owned less, overfilled my schedule less, and compared myself to others less, life naturally began to slow down and feel lighter. Minimalism isn't about being perfect, and it doesn't have to be extreme. It's about small, intentional changes, just enough to feel a little less tired each day. If you're also looking for a way to feel lighter, less pressured, and more at ease in a busy life, the 8 tips below can be a gentle place to start. You don't need to do all of them, just choose what feels right for you right now. The first habit doesn't start in your closet or your kitchen. It starts with the thing you pick up dozens of times a day. Digital clutter is easy to ignore because you can't see it piling up. But it affects you just as much as physical mess, sometimes even more. Constant notifications, endless scrolling, and the habit of checking your phone every time there's a pause quietly drain your energy and attention. Digital minimalism isn't about quitting technology. It's about making your digital space calmer so your mind can breathe. I started with my phone. I deleted apps I hadn't used in months, not because they were bad, but because they were noise. Then I grouped the remaining apps into folders so my screen stopped feeling visually chaotic. The biggest change came from turning off non-essential notifications. Not all of them, just the ones that didn't need my attention right away. The silence was noticeable. I did the same with my computer. Files scattered everywhere created the same low-level stress as cluttered countertops. I organized them into a simple system and unsubscribed from emails I never actually read. Suddenly opening my inbox didn't feel like falling behind before the day even started. But digital minimalism is also about boundaries. I stopped using my phone during meals. I set a soft rule for myself: no checking email after a certain hour at night. Not to be productive, just to let my nervous system slow down. Sometimes I'll do a digital detox day. Nothing extreme. Fewer screens, more offline time. Reading, walking, letting my mind wander without constant input. The payoff is subtle but powerful: less distraction, better focus, and a noticeably lighter mental load. When your digital life feels calmer, everything else tends to follow. And this is the part that surprised me most: none of these changes were big. They were small, almost unremarkable. But stacked together, they changed how my days felt. In the next video, I'll share a few more small, easy shifts like this. Tiny changes that quietly add up and end up changing your life more than you expect. Next, this is the rule that helped me let go of things without that constant "what if I need this later" anxiety. One of the biggest reasons clutter sticks around isn't laziness, it's fear. Fear of getting rid of something and regretting it later. Fear that the moment you let go, you'll suddenly need it and feel foolish for not keeping it. That fear is quiet but powerful, and it's what keeps drawers full of just-in-case items we rarely touch. The 20/20 rule gently challenges that mindset. The rule is simple: if you can replace an item for under $20 in less than 20 minutes, you can safely let it go. That's it. No dramatic decluttering sessions. No forcing yourself to be brave. Just a realistic way to evaluate how much risk you're actually taking. And if $20 feels like too much, lower it. Make it $10. Make it $5. The specific number doesn't matter. What matters is realizing that most everyday items are far easier to replace than your mind wants you to believe in the moment. I've used this rule on extra kitchen tools, duplicate phone chargers, random notebooks, old cables, and clothes I kept just in case. Every time the same thing happened. The relief I felt after letting go was much bigger than the discomfort of uncertainty I felt before. The anxiety lived in the decision, not in the result. What really changed wasn't just my space, it was my mindset. I stopped keeping things out of fear and started trusting myself more. Trusting that if I truly needed something again, I could solve that problem. When it actually existed, not carry it around mentally for years. The 20/20 rule isn't about being ruthless or careless. It's about choosing mental clarity over imaginary future scenarios. It reminds you that your peace today is often more valuable than preparing for a situation that may never happen. Living lighter doesn't mean never making mistakes. It means deciding that a calmer mind and a more breathable space are worth far more than holding on to every possible backup plan. Now let's talk about why having too many choices can quietly exhaust you even when everything looks fine. Decision fatigue doesn't come from big life-altering choices alone. Most of the time, it comes from the small ones. The constant decisions you make without noticing what to wear, what to cook, which product to use, where to put something, what to deal with next. Individually, they seem harmless, but over time, they slowly drain your energy. By the end of the day, you're not tired because you did something hard, you're tired because you had to decide too much. The Capsule Approach is a simple way to reduce that mental load. Most people are familiar with it through capsule wardrobes, a small collection of clothes, usually around 30 to 40 pieces, that all work well together and fit your real everyday life. Fewer options mean fewer moments of standing in front of your closet thinking I have nothing to wear even though it's full. But the capsule idea goes far beyond clothing. You can apply it to your pantry by keeping a core set of ingredients you actually use instead of shelves full of half-used items. You can apply it to skincare by choosing a few products that truly work for you. Even cleaning supplies, digital tools, or apps can become capsules, limited, intentional, and easy to maintain. The goal isn't restriction, it's clarity. You're not forcing yourself to live with less for the sake of it. You're choosing to keep what you actually use and removing what creates unnecessary decisions. When I simplified these areas, something unexpected happened. Maintenance became easier. I wasn't constantly reorganizing, searching, or second-guessing myself. The house stayed calmer without me having to try harder. Emotionally, the shift was even bigger. Fewer choices meant less mental noise, less background stress, more energy left for things that actually mattered: rest, creativity, and being present. Once your life is built around essentials instead of excess, everything starts to feel lighter by default. Not because your life is smaller, but because it finally fits the way you live. And at some point I realized the problem wasn't how much I owned, it was what I was trading my time and energy for. Objects promise comfort, convenience, and happiness. And sometimes they do deliver briefly. But that feeling fades faster than we expect. A new purchase feels exciting for a moment, then quietly becomes another thing to manage, clean, store, or eventually declutter. Experiences, on the other hand, tend to stay with you. They create memories, deepen connections, and make life feel fuller long after they're over. Minimalism gently shifts your focus from owning more to experiencing more. Instead of asking, "What should I buy next?" you start asking a different question: "What do I want to feel more of?" More freedom, more connection, more curiosity, more rest. That shift alone changes how you make decisions. Sometimes it means choosing a trip over new furniture. Sometimes it's signing up for a class instead of buying another organizer. Other times it's choosing an unplanned afternoon with people you love over scrolling or shopping online because you're tired or bored. When I leaned into this mindset, my home felt lighter, not because it was empty, but because it wasn't constantly filling up. There were fewer boxes arriving, fewer things waiting to be dealt with later. And my life felt richer even though I owned less. Experiences don't create clutter. They don't need to be stored, wiped down, or reorganized. They don't become future chores. Instead, they give back through memories, perspective, and a sense of being more alive. Over time, this shift changes how you define enough. Contentment stops coming from accumulation and starts coming from presence. You realize that what you're really craving isn't more stuff, it's more moments that actually matter. And that's the quiet power of minimalism. Not deprivation, not perfection, just choosing what truly adds meaning and letting the rest go. This next rule sounds dramatic, but once you apply it, a lot of hidden exhaustion suddenly makes sense. Minimalism isn't just about objects. Some of the heaviest clutter in our lives doesn't sit on shelves. It lives in our schedules, our obligations, and the expectations we quietly carry for other people. The hell rule is simple. If something consistently makes you feel stressed, heavy, or drained, you're allowed to question it. Not everything that feels like too much needs to be fixed. Some things need to be released. This applies to more than just stuff. It applies to calendar commitments you dread every time they come up, to routines that no longer fit your current season of life, even to relationships that leave you feeling tense instead of supported. For a long time, I thought discomfort was just part of being responsible. If something felt hard, I assumed I should push through. But over time, I noticed a pattern. Certain things didn't challenge me, they depleted me, and no amount of being grateful made them feel lighter. The shift came when I gave myself permission to step back and ask, does this still belong in my life? Not is this good on paper, not what would other people think, just does this feel right anymore? Letting go doesn't always mean cutting things out completely. Sometimes it means saying no more often. Sometimes it means renegotiating boundaries. Sometimes it means admitting that what worked before doesn't work now. One of the most freeing realizations is this: saying yes to one thing always means saying no to something else, often your rest, your time, or your peace. Choosing more intentionally isn't selfish, it's protective. The hell rule isn't about avoiding discomfort entirely. It's about recognizing the difference between growth and unnecessary weight. When you remove the things that quietly exhaust you, you create space for what actually supports you. And once you stop packing your life so tightly with obligations, you start to notice another problem: there's no room to breathe. That's where the next rule comes in. If your calendar is full, but you still feel behind, this habit changes everything. Most of us treat a full schedule as proof that we're doing life right. Busy equals productive. Booked equals important. But a calendar with no breathing room slowly wears you down. Scheduling white space means intentionally leaving parts of your calendar empty. No plans, no tasks, no expectations. Start small. Even leaving 10% of your time unscheduled can make a difference. That might mean blocking off an hour or two each week where nothing is planned, not even rest. Just open space. At first, this can feel uncomfortable. If you're used to being busy, empty time can trigger guilt or restlessness. You might feel like you're wasting time or falling behind. But that feeling passes, and what replaces it is relief. White space gives you room to handle the unexpected without everything falling apart. When something runs long, when plans change, when you're more tired than expected, you're not scrambling. You're flexible. It also creates space for creativity and clarity. Some of the best ideas don't arrive when you're rushing, they show up in quiet moments when your mind finally has room to wander. For me, white space became a form of self-respect. I stopped stacking commitments back to back. I left gaps between meetings. I protected slow mornings when possible. Not because I was lazy, but because I function better when my nervous system isn't constantly on edge. The biggest benefit isn't productivity, it's sustainability. You stop living in reaction mode. You start feeling like your time belongs to you again. And when you stop measuring your worth by how busy you look, it becomes easier to question another pressure we all feel: living by other people's standards. This one is about the quiet pressure we don't always realize we're carrying. A lot of clutter, physical and emotional, comes from trying to keep up with other people's lives. Their upgrades, their milestones, their definition of success. The other people rule is a reminder just because everyone else is doing something doesn't mean it's right for you. Some people upgrade constantly. Some fill every hour of their schedule. Some chase bigger, newer, faster. That doesn't mean you have to. Minimalism asks a different question: what actually matters to me? Not what looks impressive, not what's expected, just what feels aligned. That means defining success on your own terms. Maybe success is having fewer things, but more peace. Maybe it's a quieter life. Maybe it's enough energy left at the end of the day to enjoy your home. This rule also helps loosen the grip of comparison. When you stop measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel, you free up a surprising amount of mental space. I noticed that many of my shoulds weren't even mine. I should upgrade. I should be doing more. I should want what everyone else wants. Once I questioned those assumptions, a lot of pressure disappeared. Living by your own values doesn't mean opting out of the world. It means participating on your own terms. And when you stop chasing other people's definitions of more, something shifts internally. You start to feel enough as you are, which leads directly into the final habit. This last habit is quiet, but it's what makes minimalism sustainable instead of forced. At the root of overbuying and overaccumulating is a subtle feeling of lack. The sense that something is missing, that happiness lives one purchase away. Practicing gratitude for enough gently interrupts that cycle. This doesn't have to be complicated. Each day, take a moment to notice what you already have that's working. A home that shelters you, clothes that are comfortable, food that's available. Some people write down 3 things they're grateful for. Others pause before meals to acknowledge that they have enough right now. The form doesn't matter, the awareness does. When you regularly remind yourself that you're already okay, the urge to constantly add more softens. Shopping becomes less emotional. Decluttering feels less scary. Gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing sufficiency in the middle of real life. Over time, this practice changes your relationship with more. You stop chasing it. You stop feeling behind. You start seeing abundance where you once saw scarcity. And that's when minimalism becomes natural. Not something you force yourself into, but something that grows out of contentment. Enough becomes enough. And life feels lighter because of it. I've shared 8 minimalist habits that have genuinely helped me feel less overwhelmed and more at ease in everyday life. None of them are extreme, and you don't need to apply all of them at once. Even one small shift can make a bigger difference than you expect. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this, it's this: minimalism isn't about doing more or being perfect. It's about removing what quietly drains you, so you have more space for what actually matters. In the next video, I'll be sharing a few more small practical changes, tiny shifts that seem simple, but end up changing how your days feel over time. If this kind of content resonates with you, I think you'll really enjoy that one. And if this video was helpful, feel free to give it a like. It really helps more people find it. You can also subscribe if you'd like to keep exploring simple ways to make life feel lighter and more intentional. I'll see you in the next one.